Hi there, Lisa Arana here from Dollhouse Designs, sharing a card featuring the Morning Dove stamp kit from Unity Stamp Company. Today's card is all about tying the perfect bow to add to your cards. Tying string is pretty easy to do, but it gets a little tricky when using ribbon. So I'm going to share my trick for getting one lovely bow. I have my supplies gathered here. I have my dove pre-stamped and colored with some Copic markers. It's very easy coloring, and I'll link below the video I did on how I colored that dove. And then I also have some panels die cut from this pattern paper pack from Pebbles called Special Delivery. Just has some soft, simple patterns. And then I also stamped the With Sympathy sentiment along the side of that panel of just some white cardstock. And now I'm going to layer these pattern papers in the background at an angle, and then kind of lifting up the edges for a little bit of texture and dimension for the card here. And then last, I'm going to glue down my panel with the sentiment. Just creates for a really flat card, but it still has some dimension by curling up those corners. And now I want to add a bow to my card, and I don't like to tie my ribbon directly around my card base. The bow doesn't always look as pretty, so I have a method of creating the bow first and then adding it to my project afterwards. And I do that with just using my fingers. So we're going to start out with the first two fingers of your left hand and then also your thumb. And you'll take a long piece of ribbon, take the end, and wrap it around the first two fingers, and then use your thumb to hold it in place, and then take the tail of that ribbon and push it down in between your two fingers behind the wrapped ribbon, just like that, and then pull it around, and then again we're going to tuck it in and under your thumb, just like that, and then pull that tail and slip it right off your thumb and tie your bow, kind of tighten it just gently and loosely. We don't want to get it too tight at this point. So I'm going to show you again just one more time. Wrap that ribbon around your first two fingers, hold it in place with your thumb. Take that tail, tuck it in behind and between those first two fingers, pull it around, and then tuck it in under your thumb and pull it through. And again, that's going to create the knot of your bow. Don't tie it too tight at this point because I have another trick. We're going to cut the bow away from that strip of ribbon that we have, and then we're going to kind of loosen that knot up again. Like I said, I wanted to keep it pretty loose because we're going to take the tail of that ribbon and slide it in and underneath the knot that we created. It takes a little work, but you'll eventually kind of work that ribbon in and under, and then you'll be able to pull it through. Perfect. There, it's just getting through, and just slide it along and slide your bow down the center of your strip of ribbon. Here I'm going to trim off the excess there. And now we're going to take that bow and add it to our card. I'm just going to wrap it around the front of my card base, take some glue, tack it down, add a little bit more glue, and tack down the other side. So now it's wrapped around our project, and it looks like a perfectly tied bow around our card. Now I'm just kind of fooling with it, tightening it, pulling it a little tighter here and there, tugging it around so I get a good placement. I felt like it needed to be at an angle so I can pull it and move it around. It's a really forgiving bow at this point since we already have it tacked down and tied. Here is the finished card with our perfectly tied bow and that lovely morning dove. Lots of layers from those pretty patterned papers, and a bit of color added to the dove finishes off this card. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked it. Plus, if you have any questions or sweet comment, post below. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!